Hi, Sean.
Hi, Jared.
Um, fuck, man. Been a while.
It's been a while. Sorry, readers and listeners.
2 or 3 weeks. Oops.
And I think we skipped a week.
Okay, 2 weeks. It's not that bad. um, read a lot.
Yep.
Took a turn.
Read about.
Took a turn. If you had
Yeah.
asked me last week, I was in last Sunday,
Yeah.
but whatever. Um, to recap, I do want to recap the stuff that was fun because there was still some stuff that was fun. But
There was cool stuff. Why don't we talk about? Why don't we pick up where we left off?
I think where we left off was the secret police guys were coming to pick up Mike from Jubal's house,
Hmm.
and we were like, "How did they get the warrant? Whatever." I think we knew that, and then that's where Mike kind of showed everybody the full power that he had. Started
Right.
making dudes and cars and stuff disappear. Fucked up all the secret police guys, and then
Oops.
they basically got called back. Jubal worked, pulled some strings, whatever, to call like the leader of the entire world. Like they have some global government. And he called him and was like, I have the man from Mars, whatever. Like, we need to parlay, basically. Needed a pirate parlay.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember the steps that happened after that, but president of the world like invited them to the crib, and they were like, yeah, but we're gonna do like a whole meeting, like we want to show Mike to the world, but like for real this time, like not a body double or something like that. We're actually gonna show him off. Um, but then they were like, they basically wanted it to be a whole meeting of like all the nations and shit, and they all wanted to show Mike on their terms, right? Um, so they got everything ordered or like organized. President of the world held a big ass meeting, had all these fucking nations come and sit in and see Mike, and they brought him in, him being the president of the world, and they gave him like an oration or whatever, like a, what am I trying to say? A psalm. They played the national
Yeah.
anthem for him. They
They
brought him
threw
in.
together a flag and a national anthem for him so that he would be a sovereign and not a citizen of the
Right.
U.S.
Yeah. So they did that for Mike. So they were coming in, and so they knew they were going to get have a flag and a song for the president of the Earth, and they're like, well, Mike is not from here. He, according to these old space laws that were written after the first people went and colonized the moon, like if you're the only guy that's been to the moon or you're the only guy that's been to Mars, like you own it. If you're the first one there, you technically own it. And so Mike is, they're like, he's Emperor of Mars, so you need to have something for him. And so they made an aide, whip together like a red flag, and play some scary ass music for him when he was there. So they all had to acknowledge him as like a vassal from another world, which was cool. There wasn't much debate. They basically just said, Jubal spoke for Mike and basically said he has trillions of dollars, but he doesn't know how to manage it or anything like that. So he wants you to be the custodian for his accounts. And it was
Yeah.
like not just like you being the Secretary General of Earth, like you specifically, he wants you to do it. So even if you retire from this, like you're gonna still be the guy that protects all this shit. And they knew that he was like an honorable man, and he would like actually take that charge and not let somebody else come and fuck with all Mike's stuff. Something like that.
And what's awesome is none of that matters at all now. The
Yeah,
main antagonist,
it
who
was
was the
cool.
Secretary General,
Yeah,
just went away
yeah, exactly.
and is never mentioned after that point, which was cool.
To what we have seen so far on page 508. We probably read 300 pages in the last couple weeks. I think we kept our pace about 100 a week. But
well, we did an extra 70 over the
Right.
past 2 days,
yeah,
just because I said we gotta get
the fuck out of
rid
here.
of this book, dude. I'm done with this.
I just literally think that meeting was supposed to be climactic. You know, I think if I was writing this book, I would have made them be on the run for a little while longer, or maybe not have gotten to Jubal's immediately, go to some fucking paradise with some old head that has a bunch of hot girls sitting around. But yeah, they like ran for a little bit, they got to Jubal's, and then they immediately meet with the fucking president of the entire fucking world.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff about people trying to use Mike or his power or his money is like pretty much done. He's locked in, he's safe now, as safe as he can be. And then, yeah, they go back, they fuck around for a while.
Literally dick around.
They're not doing a whole lot. They just start, eventually, yeah, they all just start fucking each other.
It turns into a TikTok hype house where they all fuck each
Yeah.
other.
They go back
And
to
they're
the
like,
hype
"Oh,
house.
Mike is the best." And then he's like, "You know what? I'm out of here. And then I'm going to take Jill."
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave. And then the minute they go to the carnival, I was like, this is over. I was like,
Yeah.
this is it. This is how you feel that gut feeling in your book, or in your, you feel that gut feeling in your gut that a book is going to suck ass from here on out. And it was when they go to a fucking carnival. I was like, this is done.
It's just so weird. It was just so meandering. Like, what the fuck is happening now? I swear, I like that meeting with the president was supposed to be some big climactic thing, and I don't know, it could have been political or whatever, but then it went from like actual tangible problem shit to like, I don't know. Yeah, it's all philosophical now. It really is the author's. I don't know if it's self insert or what, but he's just like, I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to explain things to himself or what, but
I
yeah,
think I we're looking at it like, oh, this is supposed to be a science fiction action adventure book.
yeah,
And it started as that, but then I think it's supposed to be a society book. And we'll have to recap the carnival and the and Vegas and all that. But where we're at now, it's like very summer of love,
mm-hmm.
or like 60s free love, like kiss everybody, blah blah blah. War is bad.
That's an interesting point. I didn't even think of that. This was written then, but this dude was already older by then. But interesting. That's
I
a
think
good
it
ass
turned
point.
into like
It's a product
philosophical
of the time.
musings of like what is a joke, what is happiness, what
Yeah,
is a marriage. And I'm like, dude, fuck, I don't fucking care. Sorry. I want lasers.
that's kind of what I was hoping. I thought that we'd get some more Martian stuff or whatever. Um, or that it was going to continue to be, like you're saying, somewhat action or adventure or something like that. At least exploring more. But yeah, then it's after they meet and they get Mike's shit squared away. He kind of turns everybody into a harem. They just have Martian ideals of what relationships and sex and everything are. So basically,
Yeah.
you start all fucking each other because they're all water brothers. Then, like you said, he and Jill go to a carnival because after the meeting, Jubal was basically like, I mean, you can stay here as long as you want, but you should. Mike needs to leave the nest and go learn things for himself. So they leave and they go be carnies for a little bit, and Mike is doing his disappearing stuff, but they tell him that he sucks and that it's just he's really good at the sleight of hand, but he's not a showman.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand humor.
Mm-hmm. Right. So he's making shit disappear on stage. Jill's like a showgirl, and they're friends with a tattooed lady who owns a big boa snake, boa python, or whatever.
Yeah, I hate her.
They fuck her too, in case
Yeah.
you're wondering. No one is left unfucked.
Nobody introduced or mentioned in the book besides Jubal has not been fucked
Right.
by Mike.
So they're fucking the snake lady, and then I guess with that she's like a devotee of. Well, hold on.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the church.
That's right. Before he's a carny, they go with Jubal to the church.
Yeah.
Or what the fuck is it? The Fosterites. They go to the Fosterites like main place because the one of the senators that they met with at the big global meeting was he's big in the Fosterites church, and so he's like, I'll have you come meet the archdeacon or whatever. Like it'll be cool because Mike saw him on TV and wanted to go understand. He thought they could communicate with the old ones, and they would like kill themselves intentionally. And he's like, oh, it's just like Mars, like they're discorporating. It's cool.
Yeah.
So they go to the church. They get introduced to everybody. They see a couple of the. They see a sermon. Everybody's going crazy. They're whipped into a frenzy by the preachers and stuff. They love it. And then afterward, they go and meet with the archdeacon, and then he pulls Mike into a room, and they're there for a while, and then they're like, well, why the fuck haven't they come out yet? They go knock on the door, open it, and the archdeacon is gone. It's just Mike left. And the senator guy's like, oh, that guy runs off quick. No problem. Like, you guys, we'll get you out now. I thought he did leave, but no, Mike just killed him. Mike just disappeared him, which was pretty funny.
Oh, okay.
Because then that guy was up in heaven with the original Foster, and the Foster guy was trying to tell him, like, it's all right, man. It happens.
Oh, that's what was going on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I missed that.
So they were in heaven, and heaven, like Jubal or somebody was saying, is, in this book, it is a combination of everything. So, like, every paradise, every religion is correct, and there's a little sect for everybody, and you can go to different places and go chill.
Wait, no. He was saying, like, well, one of these religions has to be right. We don't know which one yet. He was saying that all the time, too.
I don't know. Somebody said that it could be a thing where it was like everything was also correct. And so when they were up there, the two angel guys, they're like, you should just go spend some time in, what did he call it? You should go spend some time in Muslim paradise. It's dope.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about the virgins in Muslim heaven.
So they're all correct, apparently, in the book.
That was so fucking weird, dude. This book sucked.
It's really strange. It's okay. So Mike kills the archdeacon, whatever. Then he goes to become a carnival guy. They're being carnival guys for a while. They're fucking the tattoo lady. She was a very devout Fosterite. And Mike is basically talking to her about saying, whatever, they're kind of right, but this is how we do it in Mars, blah, blah, blah. Then somehow basically convinces her that he's a religious figure. And she's pretty down with it because it's very similar to how Foster operated.
Yeah.
So she's basically their first follower. She leaves. She has to go back to the carnival. She being the tattooed lady. Mike and Jill decide they've had enough. They kind of move around for a while. They like go to California and Vegas and shit.
The Vegas part was the shittiest part, where Michael, he gambles, but not too well. And I'm like, why are you gambling when you have the most money in the world?
Yeah.
And then Jill is like, oh, well, he's busy, so I'm going to become a stripper part-time to earn money, even though they have the most money in the world. And then she's like, oh, male gaze is fine. I like being looked at. And then Mike can see through other people's eyes. because why not? And then he links her up with the like audience members' eyeballs, and they're sexualizing her, and she's like, "Oh, this is awesome. I understand porn now. Pornography is cool and good." Hey, Capri, shut up.
Uh,
And
he's named after Kepri. Isn't that the
what?
scarab god?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Hey, buddy, it's okay. He's freaking out.
Big ass beetle.
He's on the podcast.
You should tell Mel I know that. She's probably gonna be hyped.
She's gonna be hyped if she hears that you. I didn't know what that was. You're gonna have to cut this. He just goes, woo.
He's on the pod.
Yeah,
He's fine.
3 dogs talking to each other.
So true.
So the Vegas part was my personal favorite waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to San Francisco and they go to a zoo. And then they watch some monkeys monkeying around, and he goes, "I get it. I understand."
I related to him with that. I fucking love monkeys.
Monkeys, that was true. When they said they looked at the monkeys and the monkeys looked the most human, it's because whenever you go to the zoo, the monkeys look fucking sad. And you're like, yeah, I bet this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the monkey exhibits.
I don't know. It's tough that they
Well,
have
we
to
went
be
to
in
the
there,
zoo.
but I fucking love monkeys. I love looking at them.
We went to Redacted Zoo.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a tough time.
Yeah. Ape enclosure.
Ugh.
No! Yeah, they're badass. But yeah. The Vegas thing, I was like, what the fuck am I reading? It was
Yes.
absolutely just like this dude's weird fantasy for some reason. But he was like justifying whatever. I mean, like you said, she was looking through like a man's mind and eyes and like felt his lust for her or whatever, and she liked that. Which, fine, I guess I could understand that. And then later, her and Mike were talking about, yeah, the naked pictures and stuff. And then she was like doing all these poses for him. And then he was like he was showing her through his eyes. All right. Yeah. He was showing her through his eyes what she looked like when she was doing that and how it made him feel. And she was like, "Oh, I understand. Yeah, like you said, I understand the porn and stuff now." And
Yeah.
she's like, "What is going on?"
Porn good. Sexual pictures good. Thanks.
It was weird. It was really fucking strange. It's all right. It's hard to describe. I don't know. I don't want to be a hater, but the
I
book
was
went
reading
from
reviews.
I thought it was just gonna be relaxed, whatever. Like, oh, what would happen if there was a dude and he lived on Mars and he had cool powers, and then it's really become like there's this good chunk here of his strange sexual awakening, and it is uncomfortable. And I don't think it's something like, oh, you just can't handle it or it's supposed to make you think. I think it's just fucking weird.
So I was reading reviews,
Uh-huh.
and one guy was like, "It is pretty sexual, but that's the author, you know. So what are you gonna do?" I think it's a running trait in all of his books.
Oh, yeah, he just kind of does this in the other ones as well.
Yeah.
I definitely think this is kind of something. It's just the author being little weird. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it.
Edgy.
I guess so for the 60s. But yeah, the book is basically meandering around for like 100 and some pages here. About
Well, and then we get
moving.
to let's talk about the most recent 70 pages that we read, where he starts the.
So what the fuck happens after Vegas? They move to San Francisco. They
Then
see the
he sees
monkeys.
the monkey.
You're right. Sees the monkeys. He laughs at the monkeys because
Yeah.
he says he realizes the only way you laugh The only reason you laugh is because something is so horrible, whatever, you don't want to have to process it any other way or something like that. Like you laugh if something's bad. And Jill was
Yeah,
like,
you
well,
laugh
not
at a thing.
necessarily. But then he kept making her think about it more. He's like, I guess you laugh because shit is bad.
I guess so. Like, why
Something like
was
that.
6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9, and that's terrifying if that actually happened.
Right. But he understands
Um,
comedy now, or being funny or whatever. Um, and then God knows what else happens after that. He basically starts his own church, yeah. Sets it up, does all the paperwork and shit, wrote some crazy will and stuff. Like he got really good at being a lawyer.
finesses all of his money back from president of the world, so that whole thing didn't matter. He spent all the money on his church, and then basically starts the new church that's exactly like the Fosterite, and then is teaching people Martian, and then in the inner circle they all have sex, and
Yeah.
they don't wear clothes, and then are what's it called when the guy is supposed to be the audience member? They're the everyman.
Okay.
Ben Caxton's the
Oh,
everyman,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and he comes in and he's like, "Well, monogamy is good and orgies are bad," and then some hot chick from the church fucks him,
Yeah, gives him.
and then he's like, "Well, maybe this is good."
All right, you've convinced
And
me.
then
It's
he
actually
leaves.
kind of tight.
Yeah, and then he leaves, and that's what I have to say about it.
Yeah.
But he leaves to go into the church.
Mike makes a church based around the Martian principles, whatever. He still has Jill with him. He gives a bunch of other people the water brother treatment. Just brings a bunch of people in. He tells everybody that comes through the door, everything is good, everything's fine. You don't need to save your soul. This is just like it. It can't be lost. This is how the world actually is. Whatever. Blah blah blah. And he gets people pretty hyped on it. He's got a shitload of followers. He's got a crazy temple and everything, and he's got all these devotees. And yeah, Ben Caxton goes to check it out, and he sits through some of the ceremonies and shit. He gets brought into the Nest, which is some chill ass hangout spot. Fucks a couple people. He sees Jill there. He gets really jealous because Mike stole her from him.
Yeah, and then they have like a threesome.
Something like that. They're all talking about it. There was a part where, yeah, they were like doing one of the sermons, and Mike is up there in robes and he's talking about it, and then Jill's like changing costumes and shit to be all these religious mother figures, and is changing all the costumes and shit. Kind of freaking him out. Really strange. And then Ben is like offered to like be given like a super special ceremony and be like, if he wasn't already, I mean, he was one of Mike's first Water Brothers, but he was offered this special ceremony to be like totally in on the cult or whatever you want to call it. And he kind of got cold feet. He ran away, ran home, told Jubal all about it, and Jubal was telling him, "You're a fucking idiot. If I was 20 years younger, I'd go right back there and be a part of this free love orgy cult. Sounds dope." And Ben's like, "Okay," and went back. And Jubal didn't hear from him for a couple weeks. And he's like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I'm in. Thanks."
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically taking over everybody. He's teaching a bunch of regular people Martian. And then they just... He has a weird... Like, Ben had that crazy moral debate with Jubal for so long about, like you said, monogamy or human relationships, or if anarchy and group marriage is the more natural progression, or if monogamy and organized government and whatever like individualism is the proper way. And they were talking about morality and where your morals come from, and if it's a religious teaching or if it's something that's passed down, and what is truly moral versus not. The only thing that I thought was like a little bit interesting, and I was like, I guess I see what he's saying, was when he was talking about how everybody does have morality on sex and relationship that is really based on Judeo-Christian, I guess, monogamy and
Yeah.
not coveting your neighbor's wife. But you're also not really supposed to bang until you're married anyway. But nobody does that. But they still feel like you still have to give lip service about it and say like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you shouldn't do that," but everybody does it anyway. I thought that was an interesting point of view for 1960s. Yeah, this dude, I think you're right. I think this dude is just a total free love fucking guy from 1960s, and he was 50 some years old. And I think you're right. I think Jubal is 100% the self insert, and the free love movement might literally be this fucking Martian. You know, that might be the parallel to it. That's a very interesting point you made. And he's like, man, if I was 20 years younger, I'd be doing the same shit. I'd be going to all these Grateful Dead festivals and just getting fucked up and going crazy. Because that's literally what it seems like. That's basically what this Martian church is.
Yeah. Whatever. Fucking whatever.
Whatever. I thought it was so funny. Mike was chill. He was trying to understand culture and language. He's grokking. And I was like, man, this is cool. Funny ass new word. I'm going to use that in my daily life. And then
he kills people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, okay, let's see what all your powers can do. And they set that up, and then he just doesn't fucking go anywhere. I thought there was going to be a shootout at the meeting with the president.
Me too. I thought so too. I thought some crazy shit was going to happen. Or like have to go back to Mars or something like that. Like he would bring them back or some shit. I was just hoping for there to be more lighthearted whimsy adventure, but it really has become a slog of philosophical idealism and like debate between the author himself and then all the different characters. I don't really know where it's going, but it's brainy. Fucking strange. I am disappointed. I wanted a chill book. And it was. It was chill. It was funny. And now it's uncomfortable. It's weird as fuck.
Now it's weird.
But it's not like weird in a good way. You know, like you can have weird in a good way. I don't mean to be a hater, but it's not what I expected it to be.
We're just doing this for the audience now.
Yeah.
For the best podcast in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
What about Bomba, dude? Have you been keeping up with Bomba?
No.
I've been 2 weeks off. I stopped after chapter 10.
I don't think I would bet I'm at chapter 6 or 7. I'm so far behind.
I think I have to finish it before I turn 25.
When is that? October?
September.
Oh, that's close enough.
Yeah. When I got the book, I was like, okay. So when I turned 24, I said, I'm going to read 24 books before I turn 25. And I've read 4, which is still 4 more than I would have if I hadn't set that goal.
24 books is crazy. You could do Junie B. Jones, but...
Yeah, it's like Magic Tree House. You could do it. But it's tough when one of the books is Making of the Atomic Bomb and the other one is Blood Meridian. That was a tough 2 months of reading both of those.
And that's why I wanted, like, I was so excited. We talked about it in the other 2 videos about how this was, like, a nice refresher and it was chill and, like, just funny, cool to read, a couple interesting thoughts here and there. But goddamn, yeah, the last 200 pages, it was weird because it's like he was calling you out or whatever. That the last 200 pages were so fucking weird. And I did think they were immoral. It was weird as shit. And then he's like, oh, well, what the hell is morality? Chill. All right. Chill. It's not right.
It's weird.
So, yeah. I don't know. We've been put into this guy's fantasy. I'm interested to see how the last 100 pages will go. I did say, I was texting you about it, that I was kind of hoping rather than if I didn't want it to continue to be this weird, like, harem fantasy that the author was writing himself into. I thought that Mike should have gone a little haywire. It almost seems like it could be that. I don't know if he's like gonna be drunk with power or something like that, but he definitely is like he's cocky now. And I
Yeah,
kind of wanted Evil Mike. If it wasn't gonna go anywhere else and there was no more fucking antagonist, because there is no antagonist right now,
yeah, it's
then I
Evil Mike.
wanted it to be like Evil Mike. I thought that could be kind of cool.
All right,
But
that's a good prediction.
do I have a sun? Is my nose sunburned? No, kind of.
Grok, no, dude.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. Grok, yeah. What did I text you earlier? Bro, let's go Grok this weekend. There's a crazy water ceremony happening. There will be tons of water brothers. Let's just go have fun and Grok a little.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Ugh. But that's my
I
prediction. I predict
I
Evil
hope
Mike here.
Jubal shows up. I hope he goes there. That would be cool. I like Jubal now. I didn't like him, and then I was like, okay, the whole book is going to be like this, and I think I like him. He's like a chill old man. He's like Obi-Wan.
I thought so too. I always kind of liked him, even if it is the author's self-insert or whatever.
I wish, yeah, Ben Kenobi was more like Jubal and had just had bitches around him all the time, and was like, look, Luke, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, I might have saved Anakin. But
Anakin's like, I want one wife, and he's like, no, you can't do that.
that's fucking lame.
Against the Jedi Code, dude.
I want Evil Mike, and somebody's got to kill him. I guess. I hope Jubal shoots him. That'd be
Did you ever watch Star Trek: The Next Generation?
No,
Okay,
it's too
there's a
dorky
guy
for
named
me.
Commander Data. He's like an android, and then
White ass
someone,
skin.
yeah, someone was like, "Oh, Mike is like Commander Data. He's like the oddball protagonist, kind of like, oh, humans so weird. Like humans are so funny and strange."
Yeah.
He's exactly like Commander Data. I know there are a bunch of compound bits on Commander Data.
Computer initialize goth mommy precepts. Turn realism up to 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I have no fucking idea. I want. I guess I want Evil Mike and for somebody to kill him. How much more is left? Is it 100 pages?
Yeah.
Something
90
like that.
something. It
90.
ends right on 600 for me.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. My bad. It was not exactly what I was expecting. It's not like horrible. It's just I don't know. I don't feel this is not the way I wanted to be challenged.
There are a couple ones that we could do. I don't think it's your bad. I remember picking Blood Meridian and you were liking it, so I was like, cool, but I fucking hated it.
That one I didn't know what the fuck that one was going to be about at all.
I just knew it was going to be like The Road in terms of how cruel and or like brutal it would be.
Hmm.
Because I remember watching videos and it was like Blood Meridian will never be made for TV. You know, it's like that move or for movie, it will never be made. Like
Yeah,
it's
you
just
couldn't do that.
too crazy.
You probably couldn't do
And
this
then I
book
was
either.
like, we should read this.
I thought, I think I saw an image of the judge on the internet before we read it, and it was like somebody's like, yeah, this is the judge. Like he would beat. It was like comparing his power level or something to like sci-fi people, and so I thought Blood Meridian was like futuristic. I thought that was like a spacefaring book, but it was the Wild West killing Indians.
Judge Holt, yeah, Villains Wiki,
Yeah, yeah. This one,
scary picture.
what is Shogun about?
Shogun is,
Is
from
that one
what I
going to be an
know,
insane? Am I gonna have to think that hard for that one? I don't mind thinking.
I think so. I think it'll be. I think it was written a while ago, so we might have to deal with like some of the historical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just like I think feudal Japan. It is about samurais, and it's like white boy comes up and goes beast mode, with the large Asian population. So I think it's up our alley.
That's fucking perfect. That's all I. That's
Um,
what I need
and
next is guys
the
not
show
that
is
good get sick
interesting.
training, beast mode, and then
Yeah.
just like revenge story or something like that for 1,000 pages. I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool. Because people are like, "Oh, the show is better than Game of Thrones. Like the story is better than Game of Thrones." So I've like purposefully not watched the show.
Oh, the show is based off the book.
Yeah,
Oh,
been watching the show.
no.
Shogun.
I heard people say it was good though.
Yeah, people are saying it's really good. So I'm like, okay, let's just get the book, read the book, and then we can watch the show.
Interesting. That'd be fun.
The other one I scoped out was Children of Time, which is pretty cool. That's a sci-fi deep space book.
Okay.
They basically developed this like um, not virus, but virus to like accelerate evolution. And this doctor puts a bunch of monkeys on a planet and like shoots the virus down.
Mm.
Okay, but it misses the monkeys.
Is it
That's
spiders?
all.
Isn't it like spiders or something like that?
Spiders.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I've heard of this book.
the spiders fucking evolve, and
Okay,
it's cool. That's a cool one.
I have heard of that book. I do that one too.
Yeah.
I was like, this sounds very familiar. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The judge. Let's see.
7 foot tall parasail made of human flesh.
What?
That's what he had there at the end, wasn't it? He had a little umbrella made of human flesh. The judge did.
Oh, I don't know. He read like a Stephen King villain, like just one of those weird, like timeless entities.
Literally, like you can't even comprehend how fucking scary he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. What a trip. What a fucking trip this one was. We'll keep
We
trying.
might have to, if we're gonna record next week, it'll be on the road. I'm camping, so maybe we'll do a little fireside chat
Fuck yeah. That'd be sick.
if I get nervous out there.
Yeah. Hopefully we can just, let's just crank it out. We'll give our last thoughts on it. We'll give a summary.
And
80 out of
rating.
10.
Yes.
Huh?
I said and a rating.
Yeah,
You said
we'll give it a
rating.
rate. We'll give it a rate date. And move the fuck
TBH.
on. Start Shogun.
Yeah.
Maybe get a third member on the podcast.
Yeah, dude, we gotta pick somebody else up.
Christian wants to read. I don't know if he wants to talk. But I think it's
I'm
fun.
sure he'll join the call and then kind of mosey on over and like do his stuff.
He can even
which
just do
I'm-
audio if he wants. I'll put a little fucking thing at the bottom just to show him
Oh
talking.
yeah. And then we should pick a funny picture for his silhouette.
Yeah.
We'll tell him that you get audio, but we get to pick your picture.
Yeah. If you're not gonna really get in with the boys, if you're not gonna join the big kids table.
I'm sure. Well, let's see how it goes. I'm sure he would be happy to join the video call.
I think you will. Yeah. I'm excited for that book. Ugh, God, I feel like I'm such a fucking Reddit hater right now, but yeah, this is
Everyone on Reddit loves this book.
okay. Well, maybe that's why I don't like it.
It's like very Star Wars kid, you know. Oh, I was born at this time. You're in a strange.
That's all right. Let me look it up.
It's also an episode of Lost.
Strange Land Review, Reddit. I do want to see what they have to say about it. Sci-fi. Stranger is my favorite story of all time. I even have a tattoo. You're a fucking maniac. That was very progressive for his time. The seemingly confused mix of viewpoints is no doubt a product of the era in which the book was written. Fair. It is very preachy. Yep. Correct. The book can't decide whether it's sci-fi or not. Correct. And it's like they have some tech stuff, but it's just like it's never introduced enough to be like, oh my god, a sci-fi world. It just is like they have flying cars and they have elevators that you don't actually get in an elevator for. Yeah, the story drastically changes courses a couple of times, and it does bother me. Well, okay, so people, at least we're not too far off the mark. But it just resonates or it doesn't. So, fair enough. I've got nothing more.
All right. Well, that's a wrap.
I'm exhausted. This book exhausts me.
Yeah. Oh. There's this crazy water ceremony happening, bro.
That's not my kind of fun.
Sorry, that's not my kind of fun.